welcome to the 22nd of July, 2024, Jefferson County Board of Tourism. Keep in mind that we all live in a beautiful community and the things that are happening here are amazing. And specifically, this board is doing an exceptional job of moving the needle. It's a lot of fun. In the next 12 months, it's going to be funner is not a word, it is now. Okay, so with that being said, somebody kills this fly before the end of the meeting, but we need to please stand up, remove your hats if you have one on, and recite the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Dave, before we do approval of the minutes, oh, I did hit him. Before we do approval of the minutes, has everyone sent you an invoice for the March grant cycle? No?
Well, I don't think I've gotten one for Madison Music Movement.
Okay. Because that was a conversation you and I were having.
Yeah.
About Charlie, okay. And he didn't seem like he needed it. I mean, I know.
We can add it back.
I know, that would be fantastic.
Anyway, I will send you a list of those who I've received.
And then I'll take that list and then I'll just send it out. I'll remind them. So without further ado, approval of minutes from the 17th of June, 2024. Did everybody have a chance to glance through it? Anyone want to make a motion to approve the minutes as presented?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes as presented and from June.
Have a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? Motion carries. Moving on to the treasurer's report that we were just kind of discussing a while ago. I think Andrew's last proposal was the discrepancy is marketplace, which is quote unquote Airbnb being added at a certain time. And the numbers that Dave gets from the auditor's office don't match up with what they present to their board. So I think it's a timing issue. And if you guys want to have a separate meeting to kind of iron that out, because it seems like every month there is a discrepancy. And I'd like to it seems like an easy fix to me. Like, what do you want? That's what we'll do. Let's roll. So do you mind initiating that? Are you good with that, Dave?
Yeah.
Okay. So I just want everybody to have the same numbers. It seems like we are, it's just off a couple weeks. Dave, treasurer's report.
So our numbers said that there was, I didn't have last month's number, so that was May's. So that was $63,706.80. And then for June, $49,290.05. So both a little bit less, but April's was 115% of the previous. So for the 6 months, we're like 4% below where we were last year.
Okay.
Last year was record breaker. So we are.
Last year was up like what, 10%?
It was up about $30,000. So yeah, pretty close to 10%.
Okay.
So we are 20,000 above 2022.
Okay.
And I have one claim for VMI marketing that was $10,706.67. For that, and then I submitted, we talked a little bit about the budget for next year, so increase the community outreach to 450,000 and then increase the VMI contract by the 4% for the contract. And then everything else was the same. And I think total wise, we were at $1,022,000. So, yeah.
Dave, thank you for always being on top of those things. Regarding the treasurer's report, would anyone like to make a motion to approve the treasurer's report as presented?
I'll move that we accept the treasurer's report as presented.
you have a second?
I second that.
All in favor? Motion carries. Moving on, partnerships and projects. I'd like for the public to know and for our board to know, I sent an individual text to each one of you all after getting data from David for our August 19th special meeting. And then on the 27th, or 26th, I'm sorry, we reconvene to share those grant recipients, the amount of money that we'll be awarding them. We've got $56,500. So that's what we have left that we've approved for this last cycle. Just want everybody to know that. And I sent, Victoria sent Andrew and I that updated application. I sent that to each one of your all's email addresses within the last, I don't know, hour, I'm guessing, give or take. So you have that. The question will come up, well, when do I have to have it back to Victoria Perry? It will be August 5th, because that'll be 14 days from August 19th. So each board member has the application. It's got to be presented or got to be filled out properly back to Victoria by the 5th. Yeah, Victoria wasn't feeling well today, and Renee had to stay at Cliff Inn. But she wanted me to remind everybody what we just discussed. Special meeting on the 19th, reconvene on the 26th. Partnerships and projects. Anything else regarding partnerships and projects? We did go. I sent an individual text to you guys. Andrew and I presented at county council. That was the night they were discussing solar panels, so we slid right in pretty quick. And it was unanimously passed on the first reading. They will reconvene in August, and I have every reason to believe that they'll skip the third reading. And they'll just go ahead and unanimously approve that for the August meeting. I think it's more of just this protocol at this point, but that went well. And I appreciate Andrew always being prepared and being able to present. He's got a lot of data and a lot of resources and information that obviously he and Sarah research. So it's always good to have him there and present. Thank you. Moving on. I think here. Let's go ahead and do a VMI update and marketing update.
All right, is it me? You're okay. We've had a couple really fun Fridays here in a row. We had the trolley grant presentation and received $50,000 from T-Mobile toward the trolleys. So that's a really good step in the right direction. Excuse me. And then this last Friday, we had American Cruise Lines come here for the first time in over a decade, bringing 2 boats, and they brought a couple hundred people here to town. We're working on cultivating premium experiences for their guests, and I think we can make those experiences even better for next year. This year was kind of a shortened time frame to put those together.
Do you know who took the drone footage? The pictures?
Melissa Burkhart did
And
some.
did you get
first
those
in the
too?
morning.
Okay, good. Yeah,
And
that
then
one photo, it
was
looked like the Bahamas or something. It
Yeah,
didn't look
yeah.
real.
No,
The lighting
it was
was
cool.
Gorgeous.
Melissa Burkhart, she lives in Milton, I
Yeah.
believe, out in the country, and she just loves Madison. Does a lot of footage, and then she's given us rights to all her pre-rights to all of her photos. She's like, please use them. You never have to ask, just give me credit.
Wow.
So,
That's
and
super.
we also gave her a collector link. I'm so sorry.
No,
A
you're fine.
collector link in CrowdRiff, so she can just go ahead and upload them to us.
Good. That's super cool.
But then we had
Joey Ernst, they're doing some other footage during the stop when people were getting off, while we had the ceremony.
even
We had-
drone footage as well.
He had drone footage, so.
We haven't shared those though.
we got really good footage. We had a couple interns, so one from the city, one from, VMI, that were taking more pictures of people, so we got that covered pretty well, and now we've got footage to
I think we like-
share.
Between all the photographers, we have like the Andrew and the mayor's talks, like from every.
From every angle.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
No, it was really positive, and they felt like we rolled out the red carpet for them. The passengers really appreciated it.
Yes.
Yes, I should say the guests, not passengers. And then, they were very clear, they want us to refer to them as guests. So, and I think the company felt like we rolled out the red carpet for them, and that good impression will lead to more business.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we're doing what we can there. We have some groups coming, and we're working on a couple other conferences for spring of 25, and I'll keep you in the loop on those. We did have the Indiana Chamber Executives Conference, and I can't remember if I gave you an update on how that went. It was very positive. We've heard from a couple just anecdotal evidence, a couple families that came back after somebody in their family was here for the Chamber Executive Conference. They brought their whole family back. So that's great. I'm writing up a report since JCBT contributed funds toward the party that they had, the reception. And so I'll have a report for you guys at the next meeting on how that money was spent. I didn't, from the occupancy, I didn't see the bump in our June occupancy that I had hoped we'd see from that. And that was 3 nights and, about 100 hotel rooms. I thought maybe we'd see a little bump in occupancy. The occupancy was down. But I gotta keep telling myself, that's 4 of our properties that are reporting. And it's, if they can get skewed, when there's only 4 properties, one hotel property can skew that, even if, one of them has a really, really good month. So, anyway, overall, the Chamber Executives Conference was great. Occupancy was down a little bit for the month. The average daily rate was nearly equal to, June of last year. It had a little bit, less, RevPAR for the month, but overall fairly steady. Placer data, as I was going through that, we were down in June, but overall up for the year, just slightly. I'm hearing from some of the businesses on Main Street that it's been a pretty slow start to the year. But kind of June, July have ticked back upward to what they were expecting. I know this last weekend with the Candyland sale, heard very positive things from businesses. So hopefully that's ticking back up, and we kind of see it in the average every year. You start kind of slow and then it ramps up about June, July, you get a dip after regatta, and then you creep back up till you get to October, and we've got our max occupancy in October, and then going back down toward the end of the year in January. So, I was just looking at those numbers again today, and hey, we're looking about normal this year, maybe a little down, but I'll keep you in the loop. I don't have a bunch of other, things for you. I'll keep it short and sweet.
Hey, good job on the $50,000. Charlie.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay,
Good.
you're up.
Oh, I'm not.
Yeah.
I was like.
Yeah, platform. And
We're done. Let's go.
Let's go. Okay. All right, I sent you guys my report last night. Hope you got a chance to look over it. Wanted to share with Reverie Roads, we were able to negotiate a first-time advertiser deal with Roadrunner Magazine, which is the premier magazine in the motorcycle world. They have 6 publications a year, and 2 of those are the fall and the spring, October and April, and they're like their travel destination issues, and they're their most popular issues. And so I negotiated a deal for those 2 issues, $3,000 each. They add to a regular advertiser's $9,300. The rate for I didn't say this earlier, the rate for a tourism destination is about $5,000. So, great savings. Excited to be in You guys seen the ad that was on my report, it looks so much better, beautiful when you see it full and bleed through the magazine. We did a little test. So I'm excited for when that comes out, obviously in October. We also pitched a story that Charlie had wrote, the editor-in-chief wrote back, give me his name and
That's cool.
I want an author agreement and I need pictures. So like, they plan to do, a editorial, possibly with what he wrote, on this area, in addition to obviously having our Reverie Roads out there. So super excited about all of that. We had it on, visitindiana.com here recently for about 4 weeks and it got 75,000 impressions and 844 clicks. So I switched that out obviously with events but putting in those other experiences or things in between. There's that. We did a lot of supporting for the American Cruise Lines events and artwork and banners and tigers and lions on my and then the event marketing. So you guys supported the 3 events that I do the marketing for. I've been in full swing with all of those marketing plans. I am vetting a couple new media vendors. Nights especially wanted to go, like, what can we do differently, right? And so I've been working with this vendor. I know it doesn't seem like different, but we're working on some cable in 7 markets. 188,000 households that pay over $200 a month for cable. We're gonna try that. We're gonna do some digital out of home, which is digital billboards in Bloomington, Indy, Cincy, and Fort Wayne. And they'll also pop up on some gas stations.
So you're sticking with the channels that have been successful and
Yes.
you're starting to branch out a little bit to experiment.
We
with
are
different things.
experimenting, yes.
Okay, I like it.
Yeah.
Good job.
Yes, and with Knights having, well, this is the most money they've ever had for, due to your grant for their marketing. And so there are still some other opportunities that I'm vetting now, but I'm also just in deep right now with Riverfest and then Chautauqua. So, but I obviously work on these, all 3 of them all the time. So those are in full motion. Something I'm doing differently with all of them is that I'm investing some of my BMI marketing money alongside to help enhance. So it'll be a TV commercial or a digital outdoor billboard. And right next to that event will be Madison, Indiana. So, and it almost makes sense to do that anyway, because if somebody sees Riverfest or Chautauqua and they get those main words, they're like, where's that at? Right? So it just makes sense to kind of have a logistical advertisement right next to it. So I'm working on all those details now with that company. And then there's so many things going on, right? So, we have a lot of travel writers and content creators that we're following up with, leads that, we've had just in the past year, from media marketplaces and we went to the Indiana Makers Night. Well, Andrew did. I helped him get there. He went there. But we have all these leads. And so we're following up with people. We're vetting them. We're going on their socials and their websites and we're seeing better than anybody, but like, just checking them out and seeing if they fit with us or any of our audiences that we target. So, to skip down, Julia Gregory left. She took that opportunity in Paris for the Olympics, and she's and moving on to another direction afterwards. But we hired a new associate, Lindsay Ritchie, and so she's been taking this sector of the marketing and running with it. I'm copied on all these correspondences with like at least 10 of them right now. I had already booked one for an antique sector for the weekend of Chautauqua. And so she's going in and introducing, following up, like, let's work on the itinerary now. So she's at different stages with several of them. And then today I challenged her with we need an agreement, like we need an official agreement, like made. So we're working on all these things and all the details and how we make all that happen. Probably more than you needed to know, but so there's lots of that going on. But we did have a last minute digital creator 2 weekends ago, I know week and a half ago, from Indy's Child. They were like, we're coming to town. We were like,
Destiny's Child? Oh, you said Indy's Child. All right, my bad. Good.
Sister.
Yeah, sister.
no, right?
One is Destiny's Child, I don't know what that is.
I immediately thought of Destiny's Child, I was like, all right.
This isn't all the single ladies, okay? These are families with kids, right? So, we had so much going on with that T-Mobile thing that night. I mean, literally within 24 hours, we pulled together an itinerary. And so much information, you know, for them. And so hopefully we'll see the dividends of that this week. You know, so we had some great partners that stepped up, with the, Towers on Main, Crystal Beach, the city came through with some passes for them to go to the aquatic park. And then I talked to McWiggins about some stuff. And then, anyway, that was really all they had time for, but I gave them anything and everything else, family friendly, kid friendly. So we're hoping that this feature that we're in will expand upon the things that they actually visited on. So that was something that I actually forgot to. Every time I talk in the other meeting, I'm like, oh, and this, and this, and this, and they're like, are you done? Sorry.
Oh, you did.
So things are going really great. Our, Rotary Roads is a microsite to,
Oh, that's what it's all about.
visit Madison that it works. So we're hosting on the same site. So they're getting so much traffic that, they're having to switch us to another server. So we have a little increase on the hosting fee. But I'll identify what of that is Rotary Roads, just so everybody knows.
But that's a great thing.
Yeah.
We're getting so much traffic, we're crashing our own service.
Right. I was just telling the other group that, I had a message last night from a potential, trail goer saying, hey, we're gonna go on the Serpent of 62. We love having, merch. What do you got? And is anything available now? Like, when we go on this trip, we want to be able to have something to commemorate it. Because we love to go on all the big trips, like the Trail of the Dragons, what he was explaining, which is great because that's what we kind of compare ourselves to. I said, absolutely, we have a small amount of merch, but we have it, and we're open 7 days a week, and here are the hours, and we have a shirt, different variety of shirts, and we have a coin that commemorates the Serpent of 62. I rode 1,000 curves in 100 miles, so excited about those kinds of things that you hear about and all that, and obviously everything that's coming with Roadrunner will be great. We do want to, we have a meeting set up this week to talk about fall seasonal videography and photography for Reverie Road. So we have to reevaluate where we're at with that budget and what that looks like and how we can make that all happen for just the remainder of this year. And then hopefully the marketing next year is obviously great with the increase, but I would hope marketing is increased, you know? And so with that, we need to make sure that we're also allocating for how we're gonna market Reverie Roads in that. So that's kind of an addition to all this effort we've been making, right? To keep the momentum going and keep that out there. So lots of really great stuff. Any questions? I'm happy to answer anything or talk to you guys on the side, whatever you're gonna do.
I do want to circle back to what Andrew said earlier about some of the merchants on Main Street and some of the concerns. The feedback that I've gotten is that hasn't kind of quelled. And there's been a new merchants group that's formed that's kind of meeting over at Ken and Ben. Chad and Ashley have started to host that, and I think Justin Priest is leading it. But there has been a lot of concern that people aren't spending in the shops on Main Street, but like occupancy in hotels is still high. People are still spending in restaurants for an experience-based things, but they're not spending as much on retail. So I'm curious, you know, I was listening in a little bit on what Justin and Ralph were saying, like, they were trying to create like a fashion district, you know, and kind of collaborate with all the other boutiques, like men's and women's and kids boutiques. And it also got me thinking, I was talking to Keith and Melinda, and I don't know where the city is that on this either, but collaboration between kind of central downtown and kind of districting off certain areas, like Second Street being like arts and entertainment district, you know, then you have like this shopping district or this fashion district. And a big call out in this merchants meeting, which I teeter with a little bit because I like tech, and I know that a lot of our clients and a lot of our guests that come to Madison and visitors still like to have like a paper map. I don't know if it's possible to like implement a QR code or where it could be housed at, like you can do a template in Canva or something that has a map of the district and the different shops that are labeled there. And then you could get this QR code into a window sticker where guests could scan it and see where to go or what the hours are on things. And then somebody could house that information and basically scan it and then get all this information. You could easily update it when the shops switch out, because obviously if you print it, somebody's closing, somebody's opening, somebody's closing, somebody's opening, but I thought it was a great idea to help kind of navigate Main Street. And the piece with the districts, I think kind of ties into that a little bit, is that people like, you can kind of find your niche on Main Street, you know, whether what you're looking for music, or, you know, there's the music district, or there's the, you know, historic district. I mean, it's all the historic district, but like if there's these key things that, you know, are kind of housed in a certain location. I know the city kind of talked about that a little bit too, but I think there's just opportunity for awareness to kind of bundle some stuff, to make it easier for the guest experience on what they're really looking for. But
Yeah.
just a thought. And I think it would be great if one of you made the merchants meeting just to kind of hear some of this, what's going on.
There was something that I had previously committed to that night, but I've got the next one down on my calendar.
I don't even know when the next one is, but yeah.
I thought they sent it out,
Okay,
but maybe not.
yeah.
Maybe
but
I
that may-
had something else.
I don't know, there's lots of meetings.
There's so many.
Professional leader.
Trying to get away from
Matt, do you have anything else?
That's it.
Jim, do you have anything?
You didn't mention your Indiana, Visit Indiana newsletter that came out.
Yes, so one of the things I do right when Visit Indiana, IDDC pulls out their advertising at the end of the fall for the following year, I sign up the events for the event featured newsletter. And if I don't secure that, I get the things due newsletter, but they have 158,000 subscribers. I've been doing this for the last few years, really. I mean, it's like something that's in my plan that's been working, you know, so getting that message out there. But Riverfest was just sent out this past week, and I think Aaron sent it to the committee, which is why it's fresh and top on his mind. So I have that for each of the events that's in their plan. And then I do a second one, a smaller ad for nights for the second week, because their event's 2 weeks, 2 weekends back to back. But anyway, yeah, it's, so I look forward to getting those stats and sharing them with you guys. I was saying they've had 158,000 subscribers. That's what they told me back in the fall. It's gotta be way more than that now. So, and with that increased, Visit Indiana, marketing budget that they got 2 years ago for this current term, you know, they have $10 million more to spend on marketing. So like that alone, if you're marketing with them, you're gonna be seen, you know, so partnering with them is, become more lucrative because we get featured more, or, you know, like, I didn't even know that they were gonna do a post on Instagram for us. I'm like, there it is, you know what I mean? Like, so it's great to be partnering with them on all the different levels, so.
Thank you. Dave, do you have anything? Okay. Andrew and Sarah, thank you. Next up, we have anything from JCTA?
The meeting was canceled. I don't know anything else.
You're watching
I
baseball.
got an email that the meeting was canceled, and that's all I know.
Okay,
I was at City Hall and I had 3 others that walked through and it was like, we're not gonna be able to make it. I'm not gonna be able to make it. I'm not gonna be able to. And I said, okay, who's gonna
Plus, we
be?
were trying to get ready for the ACF, for the American Queen.
well, I think once you get back into school and routines and in August, September, a lot of positive things will start happening again.
I'd like to go ahead and get a meeting, because there is a lot going on, but.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll be in touch.
Okay. Future meeting, again, like we were talking about earlier, our special one is August 19th. Get all the applications into Victoria by August 5th. Then we'll reconvene a week later on the 26th. Anybody have anything else? Do you have anything? Nothing at all, a joke?
Move adjourned.
Maybe.
That's what you're looking at, that's what you're fishing for, I'll bite.
I'll bite. All in favor?
Aye.
Uh,
Meeting is adjourned.
Yes.
Thank you, guys.